Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Be certain of the mudra. Yeah. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. I will need the book this time. Just remember the 5 colors, because I never think about the colors. Welcome to this 23rd class of the MahaKaruna process. Alright. So the 5 color cloud. Last mantra was about a box full of tangible jewels, and now it's about holding a cloud. Imagine that. While people log in, I'll have a little cup of love. That's breakfast, and now my coffee. Good. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Annette. Good morning, everyone else that their name already flowed in the stream of online Facebook. I'm happy today. Are you happy today? I'm happy. I'm happy because I have no reason. How wonderful it is to have no reason to be happy. This is simple joy because it doesn't depend on a good news or a bad news. "17 connected, 19, it's growing. Let's give it a bit of time. Raven is in the house. All right, let's go with contemplation. Contemplation inside. Contemplation inside. But what do you contemplate? Nothing. Just contemplate inside. This mudra, this is my left hand, extended like this, with the index just a bit apart. Like a fluffy cloud. And we're supposed to imagine a fluffy cloud. Hey, Lakshmi. We're supposed to imagine a fluffy cloud of the Buddhist colors. And I always forget the Buddhist colors. So the colors are blue, yellow, red, white, orange. There's so many systems with so many colors, and in the end, I just see a multicolor thing. But anyway, so blue, yellow, red, white, orange. I've said it. In the book, there's an explanation of these colors and what they mean. But they're not critical for the class today. Okay? Good. So you have a cloud with the Buddhist colors, right? Various colors. If that system was created by Hindu, then it's another series of colors. And when it became Buddhist, it became the Buddhist colors. It could be a rainbow. It could be a simple rainbow with touches of gold and white and silver, sparkles, okay? So the colors never really stuck with me because it's the Buddhist color, and that system is pre-Buddhist. So it adapted. It means a lot of colors, and it's a cloud. Last mudra, mudra 22, was a box full of jewel and heavy rocks and earth and plants and stuff like that. Now, it's a cloud. Interesting, because we're still talking about density in the mantra. Okay. From the heavens, the emperor of the Tao, manage the world with a gaze and a great sense of responsibility. Om Vajra Gari Raja Hamsa. Let's interpret that, and then we'll talk about the integrations. Vajra, okay, Om Vajra. What does that mean? I don't know yet. I'm still contemplating the concept of Vajra to get the revelations. That is a good attitude for the Vajra. Okay. A state of impermanence. In this case, I will say a flavor of Vajra is to not be stuck in your structures, to not be stuck in control. Okay? Om Vajra Gari Raja. If you remember last mantra, Bhujagari meant with a heavy hand, or to handle heavy things. That's the Gari, the heavy. In this case, Gari Raja means to be the king of density, or to manage density like a king. Okay? Gari is heavy, Raja is the king. Gari Raja is to take care of this physical world as best you can. That's the Gari Raja. You are the king of your reality. I mean, there's only one reality, but we all make one for ourselves. The Gari Raja takes care of this world, but like a king, you do it from the throne room and not the fields to cultivate. You do it from a throne room, okay? And this is where the Vajra and the Hamsa comes in, the mantra. Om Vajra Gari Raja Hamsa. Vajra, the unbreakable diamond, okay, but also the impermanent lightning. And the phantom that awakens from a dream. The drop of dew that just disappears without us realizing it. The various ways to contemplate ourselves and the Vajra is as a diamond, a lightning, a ghost, and a drop of dew. La rosée du matin. A drop of dew on a leaf, the morning dew. Basically, the Vajra here encourages us to be unstructured, not a slave of conditioning, of culture, of beliefs, and, if possible, not a slave of past trauma. I had difficulty with those lately, the last 2 months, I guess. But hey, it's cleaning up, so the past trauma rise. Okay? Yeah. Om Vajra Gari Raja Hamsa. Hamsa means spirit, spiritual world, spiritual reality, spiritual state, spirit. Okay. So, manage this world, manage the world of density, Gari Raja, free of boundaries and misconception. I mean, how would you even know you have a misconception? But practice the Vajra state, where you're not stuck in the way to do things. And do it from the spiritual realms. Okay. The same way that a king manages the world from the throne room, he manages his land. You manage with a clear mind from a spiritual attitude. Okay. I'll try to give examples. The more you manage physical things, the more we naturally we all do this. We become materialist. We think in terms of numbers. We think in terms of the world of financial management, business, acquisition. Okay. When I was asked why my prices are cheap for the quality of wisdom I give, because some places there's wisdom of that quality, because I'm not the only good source of wisdom, let me reinforce that, but they are very expensive. And their vision, mostly the Hindu vision, is it's worth it. And you need to learn to invest in yourself. I think it's more a question of the guys like to have all that money. I do enjoy getting paid for my work, so I understand. The greed is easy to fall into. So as we manage physical things, even spiritual seminars, we're managing physical resource. We can get caught up in the business of it, especially when we depend on it to live. Most teachers do not only depend on spiritual practices and teachings, but some do. And then it becomes tempting to just focus, make more money, give more classes, and start to do pressure on your clients. To those who ask in the back, and actually recently, why do you give these classes for $9 a month? This is ridiculous. I mean, it's worth hundreds. Why do you give that for $9 a month? You see, the old answer, which is still the good one, I behave like a priest and not like a businessman. Oh, I'm a businessman, a small-time entrepreneur. But I still do it with the spiritual concept in mind. If lowering the price makes it more accessible to the world, then more Dharma is spread. Then I touch more people. Of course I get paid less. And these people, in the view of business, are paying very little for great wisdom. But that is the mentality of someone who is materialist and who is stuck with the desire to just have more. If I successfully pay my bills, then I'm happy to spread the wisdom to whoever wants. So this is just to give you an example of, you have to work. Well, work is good unless you're retired or unable to do so. Earn money and make sure that your bills are covered and that you have a comfortable life. That's important too, okay? So it is important. If you need to sell your product a higher price, it's okay. So it is completely acceptable for all these masters who give classes with a fixed price. It is necessary, or else they can't live out of teaching, and then there's no Dharma flowing. So you see, the goal is to get the Dharma flowing. Those teachers have to put a high price. But what if I can have $9 per month from so many more people? I end up with the same amount of money, but much more people gets the Dharma. So I'm thinking from a spiritual point of view, although I'm managing density. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. And of course, the pinned post on my online Maha's class is you have to subscribe to follow the class. However, they're available for free to everyone. Anyone can go to my Facebook and watch all the classes. Why? Because those who can pay, I hope they will. And those who can't, they should have access to the Dharma. They won't pay anyway if they don't have the money or they don't care about it. So make the Dharma flow, earn the same amount of money regardless. Who's the winner? I'm the winner. Because I achieve my goal of having more Dharma flow in the world. You see? If I keep thinking as a businessman, then I'll get stuck in what people have to pay for the value of which product and all this stuff. And that should apply for t-shirts and malas. This mentality should apply for the price of a house, physical things. But otherwise, don't stay stuck in the mentality of the business when money is involved. Vajra, not stuck in conditioning, in standards, in mentalities. Okay? So I use myself now as an example. I hope you'll prudently apply this wisdom. Don't start giving stuff for free if you can't afford it. That's stupid. That's lack of self-love, But if you can afford it, why stay greedy? Okay? So this is about the virtue of equity. Equity is the right for everyone incarnate to have access to emancipation and evolution in the same measure. Equity allows everyone to have access to what they need in order to progress in life. The fun part and the less fun parts. Okay? So equity is not to find the appropriate price for a specific service. No. Equity is how can everyone benefit? If I am paid enough, then how many people can I have access this wisdom? Okay, that's just an example again with my teachings. So it's a case-by-case thing. It's not a rule that you can't charge for teachings or it has to be low. Oh no. I gave a teaching that was $5,500 for a few days. And it was only accessible to those who are financially comfortable. And it was a specific thing. It was quite fun, actually. But I enjoy the idea of having access to the entire world and just letting the wisdom flow. So let's try now to apply this to other situations. How do you cook? I'm just using experiences I had like in January, February about cooking that were funny about that. How we are so convinced of how cooking has to be done. I cook something in a certain way and my sons reacted like, what? Are you doing this? You're doing it that way? Yeah, I'm doing it that way. Just basically how I mixed ingredients and it was good. It was good in the end. It's just so fun to see how we are stuck in the way we were raised, in the way we have learned to see things. Like in chicken, I would put honey and garlic. Then I would put honey and garlic in fried potatoes. So you fry potatoes, a little oil, put your potatoes there, and you add the garlic early, and the honey close to the end, but not the final end. It needs to still mix and start to suck it in the potato. So yeah, honey and garlic. So what? You put honey and potatoes? That's so weird. That's the trick of the chefs, man. That when you take a potato, wow, how do they do these potatoes? Well, just put honey. That's just the trick. Okay, that's one of the tricks. But when I put honey and garlic together in potatoes, it sounded so like, what the hell are you doing? Well, I mean, it's literally the Oriental success. Honey, garlic, everything. They honey, garlic, everything. It was done to potatoes in Quebec, in Canada, in the very Canadian way. And then, bam, I bring something Oriental and they break. Okay? They break. They went, I die. No, they just found it so weird and then the potatoes were good. So these are examples that are so insignificant that they don't really help us integrate. How about communication? I watched a part of a conference yesterday, a coffee with Shivanam. And he said something that is so interesting. Focus more on the content of a message than the way it is said. For example, if someone is talking to you about something that they're displeased about your work or about you as a person, the first thing that will happen is your mask, your denials, pride, shame, fear, will block off the apparent attack. Now, it's not an attack. If someone is telling me something about my ego, about me, my emotions will rise. I'm not being loved. I'm not good enough. And all this stuff rises. It blocks away in shielding. And because of that, we're not getting the information the other is trying to pass. Even if the other is wrong, if someone else is telling me that I have a problem, they have seen something. They have felt something. And for sure, there's a reason why they're motivated to tell us that. Okay? Maybe they're trying to talk about themselves. If I'm blocked to the information, I cannot do personal growth. If they're wrong, I get to learn how they think if I listen. If they are right, I get to find a situation I can resolve inside. I get to grow. But we're like, no, you can't say anything bad about me because I want to be loved. Then you're not hard as a diamond, you're hard as a rock. You know, a gray, obscure granite, okay? So the Vajra is like the lightning, it's instantaneous and gone. Like a phantom, like it doesn't matter. It'll pass, it's just a dream. And manage the situation like a king, like, okay, what is the information? What is it really that you're saying? So you can understand it. And Hamsa, from a point of view of spirituality. Okay. Om Vajra Gari Raja Hamsa. In the left hand, you're holding a cloud with just the index a bit out. Just book. Okay. Holding a cloud. That all matters that you're managing, every situation that happens, you're facing it from a spiritual place with a good Vajra attitude. Stay available to the information and manage the physical situation. Gari Raja, go and manage it. Okay. A few weeks back, I told you, if you only do emotional integration and only do personal growth, you'll end up more depressed because you'll be so sensitive. I think it was last week, actually. I want to say something else that is different. Accept that you are susceptible. Okay? I'm not saying if you are susceptible, if you're a susceptible person, meaning that everything affects you directly. I'm not saying that. I'm saying accept that you are. Okay? Unilateral, universal, absolute. We are touched by what concerns us. Okay? And then we dramatize. We change the information into an attack from our side. When someone is talking to us about a situation that concerns us, they are providing information. We are the ones that make that into an attack. Even if they mean it as an attack, it was an attack in their mind, if it was. It doesn't become an attack in our mind until we choose to make it into an attack. Someone can be intentionally attacking us, and we can be intentionally gaining information. It's just information. So that too is a good Vajrahamsa combo of let me be without expectation of what that information means. Let me be not a victim, but simply a beneficiary of the information. It is in my mind that I make it into an attack. I've done that this week, earlier this week, to realize, did I choose to be a victim? Did I just choose that? Of course, some would argue we don't choose because it rises from the inside, of course. Sometimes I say we choose to be a victim, and other times I say we don't choose that, it comes naturally. That's because the words I have to express that, both are not precise. Yes, we choose to be a victim. That choice is made subconsciously, but by us. Of course, we don't choose to be a victim. It is the subconscious and not the conscious self that makes that choice. So every metaphor has a flaw, and we have to try to read in between all of this wisdom. Good. So far, so good. All right. Next step into the Vajrahamsa combo. Decide, make that choice to be objective. Make that choice to just gain information. Put yourself in a state, a mental choice of course, but an emotional choice. You know, when you make a mental choice, in my head, I'm sure I'm going to do it now, this is decided, and emotionally you go, mush, okay? If you choose to behave in a certain way in your head, but you don't feel it, then you cannot incarnate it. Okay, this time I'm holding this diet, absolutely, and it's right here in the head. Then your diet will fall because emotionally, I don't care, just give me the chocolate or whatever else. Okay? So when you make a decision, when you take a decision in your head, feel it. And also take a moment to contemplate how it feels if you don't support your decision. Let's take the diet again. Okay, that's a nice Gari Raja, a nice way to manage your weight. Oh my God, Gari Raja applies to diet. That's so funny. Okay. So, if you want your diet to hold, you have to take a decision. Okay, I'm taking a decision in my head, but why am I making it? It's all about how you feel emotionally and physically. So you need to take the time to feel how good you feel when you eat well and when you eat less. And you have to feel the pain of hunger. Remember, I will feel hungry at one point, and I'll have to remember how good I feel when I hold my diet. You need to add more information emotionally. Contemplate how bad you feel when you lose your breath, or when your liver is gorged with fat or intoxicants. The unpleasant feelings of the body when it's not optimal for your age and condition. Feel the suffering in the body. Take the time to feel it, the pain, the discomfort, at the same time as your decision to hold your diet, and the same time as how good it feels when you feel lighter and more in shape. Okay? Feel all of this together. All the bad stuff and all the good stuff. And that comes together in a realization of how you feel. And that decision will be taken at the emotional level and not only at the mental level. And those emotions also concern the body, because you feel emotions, but you feel the emotional distress of the physical pain or the physical discomfort. Okay, so that was just an example of Vajrahamsa applied to one specific decision that sometimes we struggle. I don't struggle with diet. I struggle with doing more exercise. Well, it's not a big struggle. I do it. When I don't feel like, yesterday I was walking and I had made half the distance that I sometimes do. It's like, oh, I want to go back home. I don't feel like it. Remember how you feel, Maha, when you let your cardio down progressively. Remember how you feel when you lower your amount of exercise. It affects my sleep. It affects my nerves. The tension in my jaw, as I still have a lot of things to manage in my business and in my situation with the Majriya, being that leader and all, gives me a lot of things to manage that I don't really care for, but I have to. So I remember these. Okay, so when you're tempted to go for that chocolate, I mean, one chocolate cookie is not a problem for me, but the seventh has been a problem for the last 5, okay? So this is how I stop myself from losing my decisions, okay? How does it feel? Do I remember how I will feel? Yeah, take into account the emotional pressure, the physical discomfort. Yes. Good. So that's an application of the Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Not stuck in conditioning, so I don't believe specific diets or specific methods of exercise or ways that you need to do things in a very precise way. Eat well and exercise. It's super basic. Then for some of you it is fun, it is entertaining to have a structured diet and a structured exercise plan. Then please do that. Enjoy yourself. But it's not the rule. Don't be stuck in there. Be in the Vajra state that it works. You don't need, if you're supposed to do 12 repetition and you did 11 but 13 the last time, no, all of this is complications, okay? It's to be stuck in systems. Follow systems until you become an expert, then just exercise. When I do push-ups and sit-ups, I don't count them. I do them until it is uncomfortable in my body if I keep going. Then I know I've made how much I could. And then you'll have 100 trainers to tell me that this is not the good way to do it. Yeah, okay. That's how my ancestors did it 7,000 years ago. Because actual training plans existed in the last 60 years. And the last 60 years, they have changed dramatically, completely contradicting each other. So yeah, don't be stuck in that. I just gave a long example on health and how you can take decisions and how to help you emotionally do that. Use these attitudes, these examples that I give on other decisions. Remember how you feel when you take everything like an attack. When you take a comment like an attack, are you comfortable? Are you happy? When you decide to open your heart and be in a state of forgiveness, which is to understand the exchange. When you have an attitude of Rishinaya, in this case forgiveness, what information am I gaining? Do I feel better when I'm curious about the information being transferred? Or do I feel better when I'm blocking off and feeling bad because I'm attacked? Yeah. So let me make that choice that I want to be the king here, the queen if you want, Gari Raja. I want to be the one in charge, and it's just business as usual. It's just information flowing. Because I feel bad when I dramatize, and I feel good when I keep a clear mind and stay available to what the other is actually saying. Of course, the other could be saying, you're just such a fucking incompetent nincompoop. Okay, it does sound like an insult, but what they are saying is that they are displeased with my work. Okay, that's what they said. Okay, so I'm trying to make an effort. You know, a good trick in correctly hearing what the other has to say is, in your mind, tell yourself the words you would have used to transmit what you think they're trying to transmit. So instead of thinking, you're wrong and I'm not incompetent, it's just you didn't understand the product at the base, try to understand what they're saying. How would you have told yourself that? And use your own words if you need. And then it de-dramatizes, because you would only say it kindly, okay, well, you know, you forgot that point, or is there something I forgot? Maybe. Let me reread the order of the client. Let me recheck with the client what he wants, or the lover, why are they displeased? Maybe they're talking about the dishes, but they're mostly unhappy because you did not hug them for a week. You know, maybe it's that. What's going on? The information is coming. What are they telling me? What is the thing inside them making them give me that information? And all of this information outside of you, you hold it in your hand as a colorful cloud. Little sparkles in there, some bits of golden dharma, a little dark side at the bottom. Okay? All the information I get from the world, it's in that cloud that I'm holding. And I'm the one, free of conditioning and structures, will manage the situation from a spiritual point of view. Okay. Om Vajra Gari Raja Hamsa. Take your mana. Remember, take that decision to manage everything as information that is useful and not go into the game of the attack. Make that decision emotionally, because if you just decide this in your head, you're going to react next time. Emotionally remember how good it feels to be objective and available to information, and how bad it feels when you feel attacked and you dramatize. Make that change inside you. Okay. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Gari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Gari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari 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 Raja Hamsa. Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari 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 Raja Hamsa. Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om 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 Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Kara Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Kare Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Gari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragara Raja Hamsa. Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja 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 Hamsa. Om Vajragara Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragara Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Left. Om Hamsa Raja. Yes, left hand. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja. Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Vajragara. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. Om. I should not have answered. I should have let someone else answer, but yes, left hand. I say it repeatedly because this Facebook thing, this is my left hand. This Facebook thing that switches the hands around. Actually, it's all videos I think do that. All right. Take that decision. Emotionally, I feel bad when I enter the game of the victim, when I defend myself with denials, when I protect myself, when I allow my background potentials take over, when I give myself permission to be angry. I feel bad. I feel good. Even if I'm disappointed. Even if I am disappointed. when I get information about me. If I don't switch it to anger and defense, being disappointed is growth. I mean, being disappointed is not growth, sorry. Feeling a disappointment, if it's already there, is a more productive way. Feeling objective is to still feel what you feel, but don't turn it into an arrogant destruction, like the arrogance of fire. Don't go into the destruction of the other. Be instead in the radiance of self, in the beatitude of fire. This week someone attacked me. Well, I mean, in their mind it was an attack. And I said to myself, their attack is based on arrogance of fire. If I disagree and become angry at them, I am in the arrogance of fire, wishing for their destruction. So I'm just going to grow from that. I'm disappointed. It's personal. It's an attack. But it's just a sign that the Magia is getting bigger. There's just so much more people and information to manage than when we started. So it's a good thing. And it's okay for people who have disagreements to share their disagreements. And it's like, I'm not going to take that as an attack, but as information. What are they trying to say? And I was disappointed still, but also so happy that I did not play the violent game. Yeah, it was good. So that's an example. Hopefully you'll find in yourself enough example to maintain that. Handle all the information like a cloud that you're holding in your left hand. Left means receiving. You see it left here, but that's my left hand, and you're receiving it multicoloredly with the Rishinaya attitude. For me, Rishinaya is the various colors. Okay, and I won't play the game of which color is what. Not now, at least. Om Vajragari Raja Hamsa. As a spiritual entity, I will manage the physical, dense world in the way that I handle that information as just information. All right. Thank you for watching all. Love you guys.